everyone. It is an amazing opportunity for me to share the gospel, something that I'm very passionate about through the media. I'm grateful for this opportunity that I have with you. Hopefully, little by little, but for surely, we'll be able to share the gospel in a way that it would continue to build you up upon the foundation that God has given us. We've been talking about our spiritual condition, and it may not be such an exciting topic to study, but I want you to know that unless you and I have a reality check as to where we really are as an individual, as people of God, as humanity, co-humanity before God, the way God would see it, we would not be able to get anywhere, in terms of where we are, where we need to be, what has gone wrong, what are the issues that we're dealing with, what are the nature of conditions that we're having to deal with as co-humanity. So it's really, I believe, fundamentally important topic to study. So welcome you on this journey of discovering where we are as co-humanity. You remember that we talked about you and I are being in a place of bankruptcy. In that state of bankruptcy, Matthew chapter 5 verse 3 tells us that the poverty that Matthew talks about, characteristic that enables you and I to be blessed in an ironic manner. So being in that place of poverty is none other than being in a place of bankruptcy, where you and I are in a place where we are at the end of the rope. Well, what does that mean, that we are at the end of the rope? And we were reminded from the last session that you and I do not have the resources within to transform us, to change us, or to bring rescue in our lives. We do not have, each of us do not have the resources within to overcome what we cannot overcome on our own. Then it leads to a need for us to needing to ask help from outside of us. And that's where many of us get in trouble. While we need help, we don't want to seek help because of our pride and because of the association that goes with this whole notion of asking help is a sign of weakness. But I want you to know today that when it is appropriate, when we are needing to seeking help, asking help is not a sign of weakness, rather it is a sign of courage. Only the courageous one will seek for help. Only the one who do not have issues with egos or self-esteem, or who have enough sense of self, would be able to conjure up, muster courage to be able to ask for help. When we're really needing to ask help, especially when you and I do not have the resource within, what else can we do? The stuff that we can do on our own, we should do it. We must do it. It is our responsibility within. But it is beyond us. When the help is beyond us, the wise things to do, responsible thing to do, is to ask help, isn't it? By way of asking counseling, or if you're addicted, you get help by going to the rehab, by placing yourself under the 24/7 supervision that will bring change in our lives. Seeking help is vital that are outside of us. What's amazing is that God doesn't necessarily drop the solution upon us from heaven. He helps us, He changes us, He empowers us by way of allowing people to work with us. And therefore, we're receiving God's help through the means of another humanity. And that's mind-boggling for me to realize, isn't it? God planned in such a way that while I do not have enough resource, I may have someone around me to have the kind of resource that I need, and they are themselves actually, in fact, are the extension of God's great extension of God's resource for me. It is readily available all around us. We would be very foolish to think that if I don't have a resource within, I am doomed, I am done. No. In other words, if you don't have a tennis racket, does that mean that you can't play tennis? Well, your neighborhood might have tennis, racket that he may not use, and then somebody might give it to you along the way, or your school might have it, or the public system might have it. You see, what's around you, we're called to utilize, because that is an extension of God's resources that are there for me to tap into. So it is the courageous who seek for help. It is not a sign of weakness. Let me give you an example. There are two gentlemen who went through bankruptcy. Similar situation, similar age. Unfortunately, because of the bankruptcy was so bad, both of their wives left them. So he became bankrupt and he got divorced, ended up having no wives in their lives. So what do you do? Well, let's take a look at one person and compare that with the other. One person decided that his life is over. His marriage is over. He's already over the hill. And therefore, opportunity would not come back for him to be restored. So, he chosen the path that there is no way out, and he's going to just have to end his life that way, groaning and moaning. And so, he chose the path where he would be on his own, he would be isolated, and he would just day by day, living his life, going down the drain more and more and more. And he is on that isolated path of destruction. And within a year, he died of a heart attack. Whereas the other person, realizing that he's at the end of the rope, and then the resource that he needs is not within himself, is outside of himself. So he chose to go outside of himself, seeking help rigorously, proactively, and courageously. He went to the church, seek help from the pastor, so that he would meet with the pastor once a week. Whether to have a Bible study or prayer or personal connection, he's got that going. He found his friend, who was not far away from him, told him about the situation, and asked him, hey, would you be able to help me by meeting me once a week and have lunch with me? I may not be able to pay for you, or I may not be able to even pay for myself. And if you can help me, then once I'm restored, I will definitely reward you for the support that you have given me. So he found another friend to spend time with him on Monday, and Tuesday night with a pastor, and then Thursday night he joined the club, and blah blah blah. And then every day he allowed himself to be connected with a resource that he did not have. Amazingly, within a year period, he got restored. He started working. He started, rigorously going on, tackling the life challenges again. He became a successful businessman. Within a couple of years, what happened? He became a millionaire again. Why? Because he was wise enough. He was courageous enough to be able to utilize the God-given resources that were all around us. Yes, we are poor on our own. But with core humanity, we can definitely be richer. And not only that, God has His resources everywhere around us. We just need to open our eyes. We just need to knock on doors, and we just need to seek out the ways to find rescue, because God has 1,000 ways when we do not think that there is no way out. So don't be afraid to seek out help. Don't give up by trying once. Keep on trying. Keep on checking. Keep on finding way out. Keep on seeking the kind of help that will allow you to be on a next level of life. There's resources all around us, everywhere, every day. And so, when you think that you are poor, when you think that you have no way out, when you think that you are at the end of the rope, please take heart. God wants you to use this point of courage. Yes, you're needing help, and asking help is not easy, but being destroyed for not doing it is much more taxing, and therefore accept the reality that this is a time for you to ask help, and then the time will come that you will be able to bless the people around, bless the society, become a source of blessing in the lives of other people. And there is a time we need help. There's a time we need rescue, and this might be the time. And asking for help is not at all a sign of weakness. Rather, it is a sign of what? Sign of courage. God bless you as you continue to journey on this journey.